7 steps to beating jealousy. Rule number 1. Recognize when it's you. Recognize that you feel some kind of way. You just saw somebody you know win, or somebody you don't know. They did something awesome, bought something valuable, glowed up, looking fly, beautiful, sexy, or whatever. And when you look upon them, your head goes down. You carry an envious emotion triggered by some other human. You are not in this as you should be. In this instance, and because of this, it is hard to keep it 100 with yourself on this issue. For someone to identify jealousy in you, it is shameful, because you, as a dignified man or woman, to harbor envy of another human, you, as a life on earth, are a thought of the Creator in form. Every man and every woman knows this, even if they think they are not. This intuition lives in you. And this is the why it is such a shameful thing to stoop to. Think about someone you know who is jealous of someone else or displays jealous tendencies to or regarding you. Whether they know it or not, you know it. You see it in them. Their feelings are in the dirt about someone else. Now imagine if that was you. Imagine you feel some kind of way about someone else and the people around you can see it. Don't you feel bad? The thing about jealousy is often the person that one is jealous of doesn't even know they got someone in their feelings. Can you be real enough with yourself to be able to assess where and when you've allowed someone to get you in your feelings without even trying? If you're used to lying to yourself, dealing with your faults and conditionings as if you're handling eggs, then it won't work. This step calls for brutal honesty in front of the mirror. Recognize when it's you. Rule number 2, self-love. Self-love is the first love. Even before considering God, essentially self-love is and stems from the love for the Creator of self in all. Self-love is to be distinguished from conceit. Love and conceit are not the same. Conceit is the ego-based affinity with one's own person or personal traits that is exclusive of others. Love is universal affinity and connection, thus inclusive of others. Self-love is over understanding that all is one. We are all a portion of the one self incarnate to have experiences. Therefore, when I have love for self, I acknowledge love for all. When I have love for others based on an understanding of our connection at the source level, naturally, if I'm not jaded by ego-based narcissism or lack of confidence or low self-esteem, then I want good for others. Hence, I feel no negativity associated with someone else who's done me no wrong. Another success or triumph cannot harm me. If I love me in the truest sense of the word, then I love you too. Self-love. Rule number 3, self-respect. Self-respect is based on one's sense of dignity. Respect for oneself will preclude one from indulging with self or others in a way that is undignified. Self-respect is to maintain one's dignity. We have respect for ourselves and others because of the dignity we carry and the dignity we perceive in others. Where there is self-respect or one is dignified, there is an abhorrence of things like pettiness. Pettiness is an immature emotional endeavor. Someone with a strong sense of self-respect, of pettiness, would use the term weak. Pettiness is at the root of the emotion of jealousy. Jealousy is the realm that is without reasoning. It is a purely emotional reaction and is therefore shunned, negated, and rejected on the basis of healthy sense of dignity and self-respect. Rule number 4, self-security. Personal security is born of self-awareness and self-respect. To be aware of oneself is to under, over, and understand as the creation, one's oneness with the Creator. Self-awareness registers from the connection to God, where there is also a working relationship with God involving one's focused and directed attention on the communication, either through prayer, meditation, divination, even just speaking with the outward voice, as well as perceiving the synchronicities on one's path as the responses of the source. Then there's a means of faith and trust in the higher power, and personal security is the inevitable outcome. Where there is personal security, where one is secure with oneself, envy, jealousy, the need to secretly or openly compete with others just does not arise. Self-security. Rule number 5, contentment. Another phrase that should bring this home for many is simply be at peace. When your spirit is not wanting for, reaching, yearning, craving, or desiring outcomes for others, then there is no disappointment when things don't go your way. When one is content with his or her own person because they've reasoned that there is no wisdom in attempting to mitigate nor concern themselves with the notion of outcomes in the lives of others, they don't wind up in their feelings because of other people's glow up or progress, or disturbed by their energy or nature or their being. When contentment rules one's nature, the notion of jealousy is simply childlike. To walk in contentment is to be awakened to the true self, that is, one with God that dwells in us all. Contentment. Rule number 6, check your ego. The dis-ease that is envy, that is jealousy, the dis-ease that's making you exalt your feelings to the level of control that is rendering your personal will minute, is none other than your ego. You have given the smallest part of you the crown. The ego is in direct opposition to your higher self, whereas the highest part of you, which has its home in the beyond, should be what rules you here on earth. You've succumbed to your worldly inclinations. You've fallen for the lie that renders you in the world and of the world. The heavenly part of you is rendered dormant, while you indulge the lie communicated to you by your 2 eyes and 2 ears. You're ignoring the gods as they are speaking to you in your dreams. They are trying to speak through your 3rd eye in meditation, but you won't sit down and close your eyes. The ego falls for the illusion of this life. To see the truth about life, you must quiet the input of this child within. You are concerned with the next man or woman's progress. This is none of your business. But your ego has made it so. Your ego keeps your mind tied to the earth. When the consciousness that incarnated your body is not from here and wants to reconnect with the almighty source of life. Earth is a test, a trial, a school for you as a piece of God that created you. For this system to work, your ego was inserted as the hurdle that you must conquer to get to the truth of who you are. Put the ego in its place to tame your lower inclinations. Raise the God inside to tame the ego. Rule number 7. Love and respect for others. As there is only one spirit walking this planet, separated by physical bodies living individuated existences, each man and woman you encounter deserves only your love and respect. You should see the next man and woman as the Lord God, your creator. See that homeless person, that beggar, that police officer, that judge, that teacher, that abuser, that president, that pauper, as a mirror that reflects back to you that which you both are at essence. You are the Most High Creator having an experience on earth, and so is your brother, your child, your mother, your mate. These people deserve your love, your honor, and respect to the degree that they acknowledge this truth about themselves and you. And if they don't acknowledge this, be careful with them, but be at peace in your knowledge of the truth. Do not live a lie because the next man does. Jealousy is a dis-ease. Show your love for God's creation. Treat the next man well, because everything was created by the One and of the One itself. You are only treating yourself. Jealousy is the dirtiest of emotions. Get over it. ASAP.